Hi friends, today I'm going to complete the last tutorial of how to make a Pong game using Python Kivy. For example now, this is the complete version of it where it has sound. Then whenever you try and make sure the ball doesn't touch goes below the screen or something like that. And also apart from the sound and the background color too, if we close the application and we run it again, it's going to save back our score, our previous score. Now we have, for example, we have 5 as our score. Once I close the application and I run it again, it still shows 5 and it continues the game for us. So that's what we are going to be working on today. So let's get started. Hi, please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, and also please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and do not forget to support me on PayPal. And the link is at the description below, and also the link to the source code of this game is at the description below. So let's get started. So our next step now, what we want to do now in this stuff here is that we want to add the background image. We want to change the background image. The image is dark. The background image is dark, and it doesn't look fine like that. So let's try and change the background color to another color. So now like this, we are going to come over to the pong.kv file. Then right over here, I will scroll to Pong, the Pong game here. Right over the Pong game class. Right over here. What I'm going to write is that I'm going to write canvas dot before. Then right over here we are going to write color color um our semicolon here. Under this color, we are going to write RGBA, and we are going to give our RGBA some certain properties. So we want it to be orange, kind of warm orange, warm kind of orange color. So what are we going to do now? There are different kind of way of either adding colors with Python, this, but for now like this, for our main definition, for to define our orange color, the way it's being defined, you have to check it online, because Python is not other like some other programming language whereby you can get the color, the exact color you want. But this kind of method is using certain kind of mathematical character for it. So um how are we going to go about this stuff like this now? We are going to give it the definitive we are going to give it a property, a certain kind of property for warm orange. The one I know for warm orange is 255 over 31, comma 204 over 204. Then another one again, 50 over 255. Then 255. And under this RGBA color, we are going to create a rectangle. We have to create an object. We have to create a shape, so that we want to create a rectangle to cover the whole screen. And then when we cover the whole screen, we are going to change the color of the rectangle to warm kind of orange color. So rectangle, then position. We are going to call it self dot position. Then size is going to be self dot size. I think let's run it now and see what it's going to give us now. Now it has given us a kind of yellow kind of color, yellow color, yeah. So now that's how to change the background color of this application. So in our next step now, we are going to change the font. We are going to change the font. The font is, we want to make it look better, the font text. So how are we going to do it? So let's work on that now. So for us to change the font size of this text, here's what we are going to do. We are going to come over the label we created. So also, if you this script is so if you haven't been following up with the script, the link for the source code is at the description below. So please don't forget to check that. And now let's change for us to change our font size. Our font, we are going to change our font. We are going to write font underscore name, and we are going to give it there are different kind of fonts you can use italics, you can use different kind of, but this time we are going to use comic. And let's run it now and see the difference. So now it has, look at it, is much more different from it's much more different from the default font that we've been using before. It looks much more better and much more um reasonable. So that's all for changing the font size. So let's move on to the next step, which the next step will be about saving and adding sound. So let's get started now. So for us now, I want to show you something now. Whenever I close this application now and I run it back again, the score resets to zero whenever I close the application. It doesn't matter when whatever I scored or whatever this thing I scored. So that's the issue now. The thing is that now if we close the application, maybe you have been playing the game for a long time and you reach, maybe your score is 1000 and you close the application. The issue is that when you load it back again, it's going to restart the score. So for us now, instead of this stuff to be happening, this kind of mistake, not mistake, I mean, sorry, maybe for the score to be saved, if you want to save the score, instead of, maybe when we close the application now, it was on 5, and we are going to display back the 5 that we saved. So how are we going to do that? So let's work on that right now. To work on that now, we are going to go to the main.py and come over here and write come over here. We are going to write import pickle, and we are going to write import os dot path. So that's how after this pickle is for um saving that score, and the os.path is for, I'll show you what that the os.path is being used for. So let's start doing something right over here. So over here now, under this let's come over down here to, okay, let's go to the class of Pong game class. Right over here, we are going to come over here and write if for us to what we want to do now is that when we close the application, when we close the application and we open it back again, it's supposed to load back the saved data. And maybe now this is what we want to do now. We want to make sure that if okay, let me just show you what I'm going to do first before I start explaining. I'm going to write os dot path. If os dot path dot is file, and what is the name of the file? Let's call the name of the file that we are going to save and load. And what are we going to call it as? And we are going to write Pong game tutorial. If this file um that means if this file exists, then that means if we have already saved this data, if we have already saved the data, that means maybe when we are playing it now, the score is being updated, and as we are updating the score, we are saving the program, we are saving the exact score. That means if this file, if something like that has been saved, then what are we going to do now? What we are going to do now is that we are going to write text. That is the name of the. We are going to write text. We are going to write pickle dot load, then open, then then this Pong game tutorial, copy and paste. We are going to copy and paste this this thing. Then we are going to write our under here. We are going to write comma, then RB. Then our score. Our score is going to be this score right over here is going to be equal to numeric property. Numeric property bracket this text. We are going to open. What we are trying to do is that when if this file is being saved, we are going to load it. We are going to load it. We are going to create a variable whereby we load that data into this variable here, and we display the score of that loaded data right over here. So that's what we are doing. Then another condition, we are going to write else. That is if such thing does not exist, then we are just going to just make our score value to be default. If such file we have never, if we are just new to the application, if we are new to the application and we haven't saved, it hasn't been saving, so the default value is going to be 0. So now, in our next step now, let's move on to our next step now. How are we going to get our score? How are we going to score the how are we going to score the player? Or yes, how are we going to score the player? Maybe if the ball, how are we going to score the player? How we are going to score the player is that if the ball bounces at the edge of the screen or touches the player, we are going to add the score by +1. And what are we going to do here? Right over here, we are going to create. I'm going to create. What I'm going to do here is that um we are going to come right over here for this. If the ball hits um top, if it hits left or right. So I will what are we going to do for it now? We've already programmed it. We are going to add the score definitely. And if the score And also we are going to save it. So what we are going to do right over here is that we are going to write score. First of all, let me come over to this class right over here. We are going to write um score is going to be equal to pico. First of all, before we start, sorry, I made a mistake right over. I don't make a mistake, but I forgot to do something. We are going to write score. Um, Let me check something first. I don't see any mistake. What we are going to write over here is that we are going to come right over where we are now, which is around here. Whenever the ball touches the right screen or the left screen, or whenever it touches up the upper screen, maybe when it bounces, then what are we going to do? We are going to write score equal to self dot score. And right over here we are going to write score. That means we are going to save our data equal to pico dot dump. Then what are we going to dump? We are going to write score, then open, then the name of the file, the name of this file, which is Pong game tutorial. And okay, right over here I'm going to copy and paste this right over here. We are going to give it, wait, let me give it like this and paste it right over here. I'll write our comma, then w, then our comma again, our this write wb. No, let me bring this right inside. um Let me cut this off and paste it right over here. Yes. So the same thing, if the ball bounces on top of the screen, we are going to how are we going to do it? We are going to bounce the ball back and give our score. We are going to score ourselves and save that score. So let me do the same thing for other this thing, other values. And also if the ball touches below, if the ball tries to go below the screen, then we are going to set the score equal to 0 and restart the game. And also when we are setting the score to 0, we are going to I'll just copy the score dot save, this upper one here, and we are going to save the data. We are going to save it after, that is we are going to save it, save the score as 0. So let's run it and see if it's going to work now. So it's bouncing and going off the screen. Now our current score is 4. Let's close the application and run it back again and see if it's going to return 4. Now it has returned back 4. We are still the game is the game is has just continued from where it stopped from the last score. If I close it again and run it, let's fail now, and it's 0. Let the score be 0 now. So when we close the program again, we run it, it's still showing 0. So that's all for the saving part. So our final step is that whenever we play this game now and the ball is bouncing the screen and moving left and right and bouncing left and right, we want to make sure that um it makes sound. And whenever we fail, it should also make a sound that we failed. So how are we going to do about this? Let me close the application right now. And first of all, before we start, what you are going to do now is that you are going to copy, you are going to whatever sound you have. I have the source code with the sound is at the link, is at the description below. I have the resource, the source code with the sound. So please check it. Don't forget to check it. The first thing we are going to do is to drag all of this to your main, to your projects file. But I've already dragged it before, so no need of doing that. But you have to copy all of this and paste it right over here. I have see the click sound and also see the fail sound. Where's the fail sound? I have it here, but there's no need of this thing because I have it right over here. So let's just continue first. What we are going to do, the first thing we are going to do now is to write um import. We are going to write from Kivy dot core dot audio. That is import sound loader. Then right over here, after we import the sound loader, we are going to come over here and write click equal to sound loader. We are creating a variable which is sound loader dot load. Then the name of the name of the file right over here, which is click sound. Let's write it exactly. We are going to write it like this. Then we are going to write click sound dot wav, and also the fail sound, the fail sound, the fail sound. I'm going to write fail. We are going to write sound loader dot load. This is the fail text, fail folder, fail the fail file. So we are going to write it like this. F, exactly like this. Fail dot wav. So we've created click and fail variable. So what are we going to do now? Under this bounce ball function, what we are going to do is that whenever the ball bounces, either whenever the ball collides with the player, this is the bounce ball function for the play for the collision with the player. So if it collides with the player, we are going to play the click sound. We are going to write self dot click dot play like this. So the same thing, for to save time, I'll just copy this and paste it where it's relevant. And under here, whenever the ball hits the top, we are going to play the sound. Whenever I hit down, I'm going to paste it anywhere here. And whenever we fail, maybe the ball goes below the screen, we are going to change it. Instead of click dot play, we are going to write fail dot play. So I think that's all. Let's test it now and see. Um, it says Pong game has no attribute click. Let me see something right over here. Okay, we haven't created any variable under here for the click sound. Let me copy this um variable for click and fill sound. So I'll come over to the Pong game widget and paste it. So let's run it now finally. I guess it's going to work. Now it's working now. It's bouncing left and right and going up, and whenever it bounces any area, it's going to make a sound. So I think that's all for this tutorial. So thanks for watching. Hi, please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, and also please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and please also don't forget to support me on PayPal. The link is at the description below, and also the link for this source for this game, the source code for this game is at the link is at the description below. So please don't forget to check it out and use it for your um whatever you want to program. So thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.